I'm going to be getting into what I mean by you don't want to be pursued. But if this is the first time you are meeting me, my name is Kavita J. Patel. I'm a love and relationship coach. I have been doing this work for over 15 years, really supporting ambitious, self-aware, strong women in finding what I call their soul level love. And this channel is all about how to be your most authentic self, to call in that partnership that meets you on every level, emotionally, physically, intellectually, spiritually. All right, so let's get back to the topic of pursuing. Of course, you want to be pursued, especially if you're a single woman that is ambitious, you're driven, you've accomplished so much in your career, you kind of hold it together for most of your family and friends, you have a full life, but one thing is missing, where you don't have this what I call soul level partnership, where you have somebody by your side taking care of you when you're busy taking care of everybody in your life. And so in that situation in particular, it's like, can there be one place in my life where I'm pursued, where somebody is taking care of me, planning for me, asking me out, telling me where to go, what to wear, and what to eat to some degree, right? But like that feeling of being pursued is amazing because it's this feeling of being wanted. It's also this feeling of somebody wanting to be in your sphere, in your energy, in your environment, and that is sexy. And what I'll tell you is being pursued by men is not actually what you really want. And I know this is controversial in many ways because you are told by so many experts, you want to be pursued. You want to be the woman that takes kind of the back seat and you stay in your feminine and let them lead. And men don't like to be emasculated. They want to lead and show you and take care of you. You got to allow that to happen. And the truth is this is the energetic dynamic that actually gets set up when you are in the energetic space of wanting to be pursued. A lot of my work talks about the energies that you are coming from, that he is coming from, that the other person is coming from, because it's about the energy that is getting exchanged more so than the words, more so than the thoughts, more so than even like to some degree, the physicality, right? It's our body language. It's the energy that we're sitting in that does 80% of the communicating all of the time. And so when we're not looking at our energy, there's something off in the interactions. And so you can be told exactly what to say it, how to be, but if your energy isn't aligned with it, it's going to come across totally wonky. And so I really want you to be in the most authentic space with this. But here's what happens when you are playing this game, and it is a game, of leaning back, of being kind of casual or easygoing and letting him pursue you. Is first of all, and I first heard about this from the spiritual teacher and mystic Osho. So here's a book. I don't remember if it's exactly in this book. It's in one of his books. He's amazing. He's an amazing spiritual teacher, and he's also very controversial in nature. But one of the things that he talked about that just I gravitated towards it is when we set up a dynamic as women and men, in particular, or the masculine and feminine, where they pursue us, it becomes this challenge that we start to set up. It becomes this person that is the man trying to chase you, right? Pursue you. So they become, the energetics of it is they become the hunter and you become the prey, basically. And so they are challenged, and it invokes inside of them this challenge to get you, catch you, have you as their own, possess you. Those are the energies that come out of this dynamic. And so what occurs, and maybe you've experienced this before, is, they'll pursue you, you lean back, they're making the plans, they're doing all the things. probably even for weeks and weeks, even months, and then you feel safe or secure enough to start to be more of yourself. You open up, you start to share more vulnerably, you start to let him into your heart. Maybe you're even falling in love and you share that. And what happens is he starts to distance himself. He starts to not communicate at the level that he was. He starts to ghost, maybe. Maybe he's ghosted you, I should say. You can't start to ghost. It's like you ghost or you don't ghost, right? But you get ghosted. And then you think it's the vulnerability that scared him away, when actually it was the original dynamic and energies that were getting exchanged at the very beginning that set the tone for the entire relationship. And this is something people do not talk about, that you don't, as a woman, want to become the prey, some prize to be won. Are you a prize? Yes. Are you going to honor that you are this divine being in the interactions and exchanges while dating, while trying to meet the love of your life? Yes, absolutely. In no way am I saying that in this dynamic of a man trying to pursue you, that I don't want you to feel taken care of. I want you to feel the most taken care of, the most supported. But to start a relationship off with this game or dynamic of you being pursued will absolutely, most of the time, result in you opening up and then him pulling away, because now he's either feels like he's got you and is no longer interested because that's what was invoked inside of him. Or he's like, who is this person? I thought you were this one person this whole time. Like, you were reserved. You weren't so dramatic. You're allowed to be dramatic, women. We are, and it's okay. It's not something that we need to hide. But now you're dramatic, or now you have so many feelings and this is overwhelming for me. That's what you start to get back. Right? Because they're like, who is this person? And now, like, the real parts of you are coming out, the messy parts of you, which we all have, even the crazy parts of ourselves, which is totally okay, come out. And then they start to pull away because they got used to or want a woman that is just like even. And no woman is actually that. And what happens is that they go for a woman that is mostly pretending to be that, or so suppressed that they're becoming like that, right? Given their upbringing, given their conditioning, which I talk a lot about, that everything in love and relationship, from the moment that you start dating, texting with one another, to saying I love you, to moving in together, to getting married, whatever milestone you hit in the love journey is going to bring up all of your insecurities. That's just what happens. So it gets messy. But when you haven't chosen somebody, or somebody has chosen you because you're not, it sets up a dynamic where you then reiterate the belief that you shouldn't be, or reiterate the belief that you need to be perfect in some way. And I don't want that for you. So I don't want you to be pursued. I don't want you to play that game. But here is what I want for you. What I want for you is to feel that from the very beginning, you bring the most authentic parts of yourself to the table. Okay? And a part of that process is to look at what are the ways inside of you are judging who you are, given how you were raised. So here's an example of what I mean. Were you raised being told you're really stubborn? Or this is something I was raised with. Or you were raised being told that you're too much, you're too sensitive. Or you were raised being told that you can't be so emotional or such a feeler. Or that you ask too many questions. Or that you're shy, right? Or that you don't, that you're socially awkward, or you're put in some sort of bucket by your family. And this is not their fault. This is done in every single family. This is not a blame game that we're entering into. This is about recognizing the parts of ourselves that we're judging and where that comes from. Because when you can locate, like, oh, there's a part of me that feels like I can't be like, I'm not allowed to be kind of this passionate, bold person that has a lot of opinions, that's overwhelming and scares the right men away. Let's say that there's that. And what I want you to see is if that's coming up for you, that comes from your upbringing and what your mom said to you, what your dad said to you, what your aunts and uncles said to you, what your siblings said to you, what grandparents said to you, what step-parents said to you. And it's ingrained, and now it's become something that you judge yourself for. And there's deeper work that we could do to really unearth that and release it, because the pain of that is what causes you and us to come to the table without ever really knowing that we're not being our most authentic selves from the very beginning. Right? So I'm just baby stepping you through this in this moment. But I just want you to note, what is one thing that you judge yourself for? Where does that come from within your family? And not to blame them, but to see that to have some compassion for that little girl, or compassion for even your family for why they thought these things, right? Some compassion deeply for yourself and why you're still judging yourself around this. And with that compassion, with releasing that pain, which is the deeper healing work that I really talk about in all of my programs. But when we release that pain, we can come to a relationship, to a date, from a place of really being in our most authentic self, where we don't have to play games, where we don't have to set up a dynamic to try to get a man to be interested in us, where we show up as ourselves and they just fall head over heels in love with that. That's what I want for you. Okay, so don't set up this dynamic of wanting to be pursued. Be yourself. Allow yourself to come to the table. Also allow yourself to be taken care of. I'm also not saying that I want you to plan every date, tell them when to be there, where you're going, and how to be. I'm not saying that, right? What I'm saying is that it's an exchange. It's an exchange between two equals. It's an exchange between two people that are on the same level of being humans, right? It's not a dynamic of I'm somebody to catch, and now you were creating this energy of him becoming the hunter, and now we're in this dynamic, right? That literally sets up a scenario later on down the lane of you feeling like you're not really held for everything that you are, that you aren't really seen for everything that you are. And that's what I desire most for you, is to be seen for everything that you are, the good, bad, and the ugly, and to be held in it. Okay, I'd love to see your comments below. I know this is a controversial one. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. I send out videos every week that you don't want to miss. One of the videos that I recommend is 5 reasons men pull away when they are interested. So you want to check that one out if you haven't already. The links are right here. And I can't wait. So excited to see you in the next video.